Hello, this is Andy Lockwood, and what I wanted to do in this video was to give you a little inside kind of look over my shoulder view of one of my favorite tools that I use in my practice to help parents and children select colleges, not only on the basis of what they think is going to be a fun school to go to, but also based on the likelihood of getting in, the likelihood of getting funded, the likelihood of being able to improve your chances of both getting in and getting funded, and a bunch of other stuff. So what you're looking at is this proprietary software that was originally made by a team of people from Princeton University, including the longtime, I think 30-year plus director of admissions and financial aid, and two of his colleagues, I guess two of his students actually, who he coached on the soccer team, who, which is not relevant, but I find it interesting, who have put together this sort of algorithm that searches something like 2,700 colleges. It's based on the admissions results of more than 4,700 or so kids each year, that kind of handicaps or does some kind of data mining to help you figure out your chances of admission. Now, this is a tool that is much different than Naviance, which many of you may be familiar with. That is used by most high schools, and what it does is it asks you to plug in a couple of factors such as grades and scores and some colleges that you're looking at, and then it spits back to you a sort of what they call a scattergram, a graph that shows you your likelihood of getting in based on those two factors only. But as anyone in admissions, or even your teachers or your guidance counselors and other parents will readily admit, this is not, getting into school is not just about grades and scores. And the other shortcoming of Naviance, because it doesn't address that, is also doesn't address the costs of schools, the likelihood of merit-based money, and other financial aid. So this system does all that, and this is a private license that I have. It's not available to the public, and I rely on it very heavily. So I'm going to kind of zip through how I use it, and I'm going to skip over a lot of stuff. So let's go right to the student screen. My student's name is Joey Bag of Donuts. He's actually a brilliant young man. This is some basic information: his date of birth, he's male, address. That's the boring stuff. Let's continue along to get to some interesting stuff. Screen 2, this is more basic data. When does he graduate? Is he white or some other ethnicity? Where does he live? Here's something interesting: personal obstacles. Has Joey encountered any of these personal obstacles, such as medical, economic, or serious personal or family programs? Because these are taken into account by many college admissions officers. In fact, I was sitting with a student today, a young woman, who I remarked did not really have a lot of good extracurricular activities. I was actually a little bit disappointed that she hadn't really participated. But then I later learned that she worked 5 days a week at the supermarket. She took care of her younger sister. She took care of her mom, who had a debilitating medical condition, and that is something that mitigates the lack of extracurriculars, which is otherwise very important, and that is something that is considered not only by admissions officers but by this software. So I thought that was interesting. That's one readily apparent difference from Naviance. Joey's GPA is a 92. He does not know his rank, and the school doesn't rank students. Actually, let's check off he knows his rank. Let's put Joey in the top 20% of his schools. I'm going to save that. Now let's look at his course loads. Joey is more of an English guy, so I'm going in social studies and history, and he's a good student in other stuff. I'm going to give him 2 APs and 3 honors classes. So he's a great student, but he's not necessarily Harvard material, which we'll explore. Academic awards. Let's look at some examples of awards. From the bottom up, there are county awards like Science Fair, entering the Intel Science Talent Search, or entering the Siemens competition. Then there's regional stuff, becoming, earning the top prize at a state science fair. These are good examples that help you figure out what academic level award or what level academic award you've achieved since the ninth grade. By the way, don't overlook that, and so on and so forth. So I want, excuse me, I want to point that out to you. I'm saying Joey is a county school type of winner. Here are the standardized test scores, which virtually every software will enable you or will ask you about when you're trying to figure out, or in all the guidebooks. So the SAT, let's take a look at his SAT scores. I said Joey got a 2100 overall. He did a little bit better in reading than math. Let me just adjust this just for sake of illustration, because if you improve your scores, you can edit this. And I'm showing you what I do. We do, this is how I do it. Oops. But sometimes I give clients access to this themselves. You can see here I'm an expert. I never make mistakes. This is interesting here. Activities plus school activities. How involved are you? There's a scale of not involved, like a slacker, all the way up to unusually dedicated and successful. What does that mean? Well, unusually dedicated is all the way down here. Actively participate in a number of school activities and have a major role in 2 or more. That could be like, here's an example. Model builder for the robotics club, which won a first prize in the first blah blah blah, peer leader, so on and so forth. I said Joey was outstanding because he actively participates in a number of school activities and has a major role in 2 or more. One of his activities has received recognition at the league or county level, compared to down here, which is the national level. So more criteria beyond grades and scores here. Examples of school activities: athletics, band, debate, Model UN, so on and so forth. Love the software. I'm very geeky about it. I'm saying he's a primary leader, meaning like a captain of a team or something. In my earlier example, if you're not able to participate in school activities, there could be some reasons. Taking care of kids, you're working a paid job, or a major medical condition. My client has these first two. So that's how I'd be filling it out on her behalf. Now, talent. What does this mean? There's another scale. Some talent, average, above average, well above average. I'm saying Joey is strong, very strong. He's been recognized for his talent at the local or county level. He plays a couple of sports. He made second team all-county. You get the idea. I'm just walking you through this very quickly because I don't want to get bogged down. What about outside activities? What is an outside activity? Well, an outside activity could mean stuff that's not, it means stuff that's not through the school, like Girl Scouts, a job, internship, or whatever. These are very important, and admissions officers love this type of stuff. Help me decide your level of activity, your level of involvement. I said Joey's level was outstanding. He uses free times to accomplish things that are very important and distinguish me from others. That's a big deal. Those are magic words. I want to be a business leader one day, so I started a company that cleans swimming pools. I now have 3 employees and hope to net $5,000 this year. That's pretty cool. God, I wish my kid would do something like that. Okay. Moving right along. Volunteerism. You can get help here, same type of criteria, but this is based on hours. College admissions people care about your level of commitment. That's why this is a little bit more straightforward than the other screens. Character traits. Now this is probably the least objective, the most subjective screen here. How would your teacher recommendations and guidance counselors, how would they look compared to your peers? Are you below average, or are you one of the best they've ever seen? I said Joey was outstanding. Outstanding means that Joey was viewed to be in the top 10% among his peers. So look, it should go without saying, when you're doing this type of activity, you've got to be honest about it, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Moving right along. Now let's look at some schools. So I populated this earlier. Joey's looking at Cornell, WashU, Emory, Michigan, Elon, Clark, Stanford, Brown, and Reed. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are on his consider list. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look at the fit and match results. What this does is it now employs that algorithm that I mentioned before, 2,700 schools, 4,500 kids, updated each year, that matches the admissions raw data that's reported not only to the College Board, which licenses this information to only one organization, and that's the people who put the software together, as well as the Department of Education's information that is reported, that's self-reported by every college, and then it kind of handicaps Joey Bag of Donuts' chances of getting in. So there are different criteria, and this is a little bit more involved than reach, target, and safety. So very good to excellent, which is the equivalent, I would say, of a safety school. Elon and Clark. Solid to strong. What does that mean? Your record is stronger than the records of most recent freshmen. Here, this red number means that the GPA is a little bit lower than entrance, but the SAT is the same. That's what yellow means. The the level of commitment is about the same as most kids, but the amount of activities is higher. Green means that you are in better shape compared to most of the people who apply. So again, there's a bunch of other criteria beyond grades and scores. Somewhat difficult. This would be the equivalent to not a reach, but a somewhere between a reach and a high target, I guess. So Ithaca, WashU, and Emory are schools that are going to be a little bit more challenging for Joey Bag of Donuts to get into. Some freshmen at these colleges have records like yours, but a majority of the most recent freshmen have stronger overall admissions profiles. Your chances will increase if you improve your record before admissions deadlines are made. So that's why it makes very strong sense to consider getting serious about this stuff before your junior year. But you still can manufacture things in your junior year, and it gets a lot harder when you're a senior. Before admissions decisions are made, and or there are unique admissions factors that we did not consider, will count in your favor. And of course, there are other criteria. Now, the next category is somewhat difficult. What does this mean? These are the reach schools, Stanford and Brown. Nearly all recent freshmen at these colleges have records that are stronger than yours. Now I'm going to click on something that is, to me, the coolest feature here. List balance. This is my favorite tool. It shows that this is not a bad representation, by the way. A couple of reach, 3 somewhat difficult, and then 2 solid to strong and 2 very good to excellent. So let's look at some good choice schools. How do you add some good choice schools? This is flashing up here to highlight to me that I have indeed chosen to look for quote-unquote good choice schools, which I would define as solid target schools. I can search by location, which means either zip code or distance, away, radius, state, region. I am going to do this. I'm going to select both public and private. I'm going to look at urban and suburban. Joey does not like too big, schools that are too huge. So 0 to 20,000 students, and I'm going to look all over the country because sometimes it makes sense to apply to schools that are outside of your geographic region, because it can help you play the schools off. So now there are only 3 schools that came in, and that's not really enough for me. So I'm going to try to do this again. Doing this on the fly. I want some more good choice schools. So I'm going to go for, I'm not going to check either of these. I'm not going to check, well, let's see. I'm going to check all types. I'm not going to limit myself in terms of students. I'm going to select all regions. And let's see what comes up. 6 matches. All right. So let's take a look at Hamilton College. I'm going to look at the Hamilton College. I'm actually a big fan of Hamilton. It gives you information on tuition, degrees, total enrollment. It's a little on the small side. 28% get in. 96% of freshmen return for our sophomore year, which is a very good number. Here's the information on the SATs. Now, I'm thinking about adding this to my list. So I'm going to check this box off. And now, this is indicating, well, excuse me, should I apply early decision? Am I thinking about it? No. Am I an athletic recruit? No. Do I think I have a special talent other than athletic? No. None of these. Or I will decide later. Here's something interesting. My mother or father has an undergraduate degree from this college. That, of course, is there because some colleges give weight to recent alums. So I have now selected Hamilton College. I think that should have been added to my list. Let me double check that. Add school to list. This is deja vu all over again. I just did that. Here it is on my screen, demonstrating that I added it. Maybe I'll take a quick look at page 2. Only one school on there. Okay, so now I'm going to close search results and I'm going to go back to balancing my list here. And I think you do that by refreshing. So I'm going to go back to list balance. Now, over in good choice, I have Hamilton. So now my list is looking better. This is a good list, actually. Nice job, Joey Bag of Donuts. Okay, cost and aid. I'm not going to spend time on the need-based financial aid because chances are you've attended a workshop on how that all works. I'm going to instead check out the merit-based opportunities. And this is where it gets very interesting. So let's take a look at Elon University. What do they look like in terms of merit aid? First of all, you see that Elon is actually less expensive than many other schools on this list, coming in at, hey, wait a minute, coming in, what happened to my my screen here? Hold. All right, so that was a technical difficulty. I'm going back to Elon here. Elon is a scant $39,371. I am looking at the merit aid information. So Elon offers a presidential scholarship that can range from $4,000 to $4,500. They have ROTC and they have athletic scholarships. So that is something to consider. I want to take one more look and maybe get some more information about Clark University, or CLAC, as they say up in Worcester. W-O-R-C-E-S-T-E-R is pronounced Worcester, or if you're from the Boston area like myself, Worcester. CLAC has a presidential scholarship that is up to $15,000. It also has this achievement award that I skipped. It's also got this Make a Difference, or MAD scholarship. And you can click on any of these things to learn more about the criteria. Now I'm over on the web page of CLAC, and I know I'm on a college website because I see the Asian guy, the African American guy, and all the other, the whole melting pot, the whole rainbow. It's beautiful. Every college, of course, is bound by rules to have every ethnicity on its website. No, I'm kidding, but okay, so let me just go through here. So what is the MAD scholarship, Making a Difference scholarship? It gives you some information here. It talks about, this is kind of neat, a $2,500 stipend. Here are the eligibility, the language about eligibility. And here are examples of people who have won the MAD Scholar. Alejandro Baez, Ashley Cooper, Rebecca Liebman. You know, that gives some examples, and you can kind of match up. Zohar Zimmerman, double Z. this is a cool it's a cool resource. And if you were interested in finding out if you qualified for this, the Achievement Award, at first glance you see the average SATs and GPA of those people, and you can go right over to the website and get information on those criteria. Also, Presidential Scholarship for 18,000, Triana Scholarship, Achievement Scholarship, Jonas Clark Scholarship, and so forth. Pretty cool, pretty darn convenient. God, I love this stuff. I know I'm a geek. There's more information here that if you wanted to, if you were doing this on your own, you might want to fill out a quick form, which is good. It's not great, but I just wanted to point that out to you. That is really it. There's a lot more to the software, but I wanted to just give you a little bit of an overview. So I don't know if you have, because this is sort of a generic informational presentation. I don't know if you have booked an appointment to come see me, if you're still considering booking, but if you are intending to come in and see me in the office, I'm looking forward to meeting you, of course. And if you have any questions, just reach out to us at our contact information that you have, our phone number or email, whatever you prefer. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you have any questions about this software, you can read about it at collegeplanningGuru.com/software. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can also do so on that page. Bye-bye.